I'm a child-free by choice woman, and I'm here today to advocate for my future generations. You heard me right. My future generations of women like me, women who choose to be child-free. Let me explain. I grew up in a small town in rural Georgia in a big family. You know, us Southerners, we love our families, and we love them big. My great-granny Money had 15 kids. My granny had 7. Being the first granddaughter on both sides of my family, it's an understatement to say there was an expectation that I would have kids. Growing up, I was constantly asked, when are you going to get a boyfriend? When are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? And despite always coyly answering, no, never, I didn't actually believe that myself. I didn't know I had a choice. You see, Southern culture mandates that the value of a woman's life is directly tied to her childbearing years. She's not only expected to have kids for herself, but for her husband, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, the whole family. It's her responsibility to grow the family tree. And without kids, what value does a woman's life hold? I'm very fortunate to have parents who encouraged me to be a first-generation college student, of which I could not be more proud. Upon entering college, I had no way of knowing everything I would experience. I learned about people, places, and cultures all around the world. But most importantly, I learned about myself. I learned about women throughout history who have chosen to forego the life cycle of childbirth, who instead of giving to the world life, have given to the world themselves entirely, and nothing else. This revelation changed the trajectory of my life. The realization I not only had a choice of what to do with my body and my life, but that whether or not I had kids did not impact the value of my life. Now, this may come as common sense to some of you, but considering the Southern cultural perspective under which I was raised, this is huge. You see, when I graduated high school in 2005, the teen pregnancy rate in my small hometown was 62%. That is 62% of girls aged 14 to 19 having babies. You may be thinking that was a while ago, but the average between then and now, still 53%. With my newfound outlook on life, I understand these numbers are high. But again, considering the Southern cultural perspective, this is okay. This is normal. This is celebrated. So what's the problem? The problem is that Southern women so often get stuck in cycles of oppression, both gendered and economic. The problem is that Southern women are not being given the opportunity to fully grow themselves before being expected to grow someone else. The problem is that these young girls are not being given the chance to know that they have a choice. Now, I'm not here to say everyone should choose to be child-free. I know that's not a reality, nor is it what everyone wants. But everyone does deserve the chance to choose whether or not to have kids, to choose when to have kids, and to choose why. Now, the why is key because it is not a natural-born human right to reproduce, nor is it considered a necessity to our society. So why? Why do people have kids? We could attempt to make a list today, but it would be never-ending, and the reasons would largely fall into 3 categories. They're the personal reasons that consider where we are in our lives and the goals and aspirations we have for our futures. Then there are the cultural reasons, that is the community in which we exist and the traditions by which we live. And then there are the global reasons, that is not only the ever-growing population crisis, but also our current political climate. As you can see, these are decisions that should not be taken lightly. So how do we better educate our future generations? Again, I would like to take us back to my high school days. In high school, I took both sex ed and home ec, but not once in formal education were the realities of childbirth, parenting, and certainly not whether or not I had a choice ever mentioned. The only education I received on these topics was peer education. And I know we can all think back to personal experiences with peer education and how it's largely myths and misunderstandings. And it doesn't help that in Southern culture, it's largely considered taboo to talk openly about these topics. But we are doing a disservice to our future generations by not formally educating them on the realities of childbirth, parenting, and all of the choices around growing the family tree. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here today as an advocate for my future generations of women like me, women who need to know that they can choose to be child-free. Thank you.